You're listening to an ATYL Media production.
Drivers, this is your warning. Race above the yellow line. If in NASCAR's judgment you go below the yellow line to improve your position, you will be black flagged.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another week of Below the Yellow Line. Tighten up your seatbelts because we're ready to take you left and right, breaking down all things Circuit of the Americas.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Circuit of the Americas and St. Pete. It was a kind of a two-pronged weekend for all this NASCAR action between St. Petersburg, Florida, and Austin, Texas. So we had a lot to watch this weekend. It was really exciting across the board. I am Sal Nicosia, by the way, along with my always spry, ready to rip co-host, Buddy Pulley.
What does
Buddy, how you doing
spry
over there?
mean?
Spry means you're agile, you're fresh, you're ready to go.
I don't.
Like, you know how
Bold
you
of you
snap
to
a piece of
assume I'm.
celery- you snap a piece of celery in half. That's what you sound like.
I don't eat celery, dude. Ever since they gave us the celery and the peanut butter and the raisins, and they're like ants on the log, dude. That's gross.
Not your
No.
jam.
Yeah, no. So if spry means celery, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, no, exciting weekend of racing. I crammed it all into one day because I was covering a car store race on Saturday. So my Sunday was action packed. So if you were following me on Twitter and watching my meltdown, just know it was a day behind.
Day late meltdown is crazy. On live tweeting a day late meltdown is the type of thing I'm locked in for. That's crazy work. Yeah, dude.
Gotta keep them confused, dude.
Yeah, dude. I would have been bamboozled if I was paying attention to Twitter on Monday. Yeah, no, we had a lot to have meltdowns about this weekend. Some good things and some tough situations out there. We'll start with the Truck Series, I guess. They did the double header this weekend with IndyCar in St. Pete. We don't really talk IndyCar here, but Alex Palou won that IndyCar race. The guy is just like another species of human or an alien or a lab-grown creation. He's something else. As a casual IndyCar observer, he's the only one I ever see, really. Him and Newgarden only ever win. But
put Lane Riggs in that car. See what happens.
Now we can start talking about Lane Riggs getting silly at St. Pete. I mean, he drove the wheels off that thing toward the end of that race, made a big move, down the runway there into that first corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Took almost was a 2-for-1 kind of passing move and took the lead, never looked back. I mean, had to shake the truck left and right a little bit to make sure his fuel was still picking up, but other than that, I don't know. This one was kind of cut and dry. There were some fun storylines throughout, but what'd you see from the truck race, buddy?
Dude, we should go back. I know that was fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was the scenery around St. Petersburg is awesome. Two, it seemed like it got a lot of engagement on both sides from NASCAR and obviously IndyCar being there too. So, Lane Riggs, short track guy. We just kind of do it better, I guess. He wins the race. Pretty good. He's pretty good old driver right there. Dario Franchitti was in the race. Old Jimmy Hinch, as he's known now, apparently
rebranded himself for NASCAR.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Oh, did you hear the story behind that?
No.
Apparently, it was somebody. I don't remember the exact story. Somebody told him, you can't go to NASCAR because with a name like Hinchcliffe. And so they were like, you'd have to change it to Jimmy Hinch or something. And that was like 15 years ago. And here he is in a
Jimmy
truck.
Hinch, right on the side of the truck.
Finished top 10 too.
Yeah, they all had pretty good day. Dario had a pretty good day until he blew the transmission out of it. I think they had some issues late in the race.
Yeah.
He commented during the IndyCar broadcast that he was just kind of slapping up against the walls. He wasn't used to how much power was under the hood and how narrow the rear tires were. So I think it was stepping out a little more on him than he had maybe thought about it might. So I don't know. It was cool to see all those different, kind of hot seat drivers jumping in and out. Meanwhile, though, Lane Riggs, weekly guy, short track guy. I mean, short tracks, they love to compare short track racing to road course racing because of the way you have to approach a lot of the corners. Is that really true, buddy? Do you really, is there any truth in that, or is that like just a thing people say?
It's always been the opposite for me. I don't think, like, I've noticed that, like, road ringers did better at, like, Martinsville, but I haven't really seen it go the other way too much.
Yeah, I haven't either. That's why I was kind of scratching my head when they were saying it. But maybe we just haven't seen enough street course, road course racing in some of these series to have something to benchmark it against.
Yeah.
You know,
First
the
time
opposite.
the trucks were on a street course.
I'd like to see them explore that and do some more. You
Well,
mentioned
you're in luck.
scenery.
They're going to do another one.
I'd like to see more of that. The scenery at St. Pete is cool because it's like not the Miami Grand Prix where they put the vinyl wrap boats down in the parking lot of Hard Rock Stadium. Like these were real boats. Wow, imagine. I don't know. It felt real. It felt good to see NASCAR ripping trucks around. I don't know, something about it just was.
You know what's
was a good
crazy
time.
is, like, you remember when we ran the Chicago street course and everybody, like, why are we on a street course? We don't belong on a street course. And that was, like, continuous throughout the entire tenure. Not one person was like, why are we on a street course? We don't belong on a street course. Crazy work.
You
Crazy
know why
work.
people complain. It's funny.
I know, but it's just, it grinds my gears.
Rides your gears. Ask Brett Griffin why they shouldn't be racing in Chicago.
Gee, Willikers, Batman. Jimmy Johnson had a hat that said GOMF. Did that stand for go? I just assumed that's what it meant.
He tapped into all of our degenerate sides. I don't know what that was. I know they just because I saw some stuff that Legacy was doing with No Bull, which is like that fitness brand or whatever. And then I saw that hat had like the same font, similar font, and I didn't understand what any of that was. Jimmy looked great though out there on top of the pit box. I mean, or is 9 people on top of the pit box for Franchitti though. I mean, Tony Kanaan was up there. He had his actual crew chief up there. I mean, there was like, talk about cooks in the kitchen. Everybody yarping in your ear all day, telling you how to drive the thing. I mean, it's must have been quite the experience on the radio for him. But I didn't quite pick up what the hat thing was there.
Yeah, no, he had an ice cold Coca-Cola after the race, just out there dying of heat exhaustion, sipping on a Coca-Cola,
giving the electrolytes back.
Yeah. Mario Andretti's just sitting there yapping in your ear. Weird times, dude.
Like living an upside down world where NASCAR and IndyCar having these double headers, and it's interesting because they're gonna do it again this weekend in Phoenix. We'll get on that a little further along, but we go from sunny St. Pete to blistering hot Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
I think it blistered some more than others. Talk a little bit about cool suits and the driver technology inside the cars. Not a good time to have hot air blown into your helmet, which we learned from a few folks this weekend. Everybody's okay, thankfully. We can have a good laugh about it now. But in the O'Reilly's Auto Parts series, I think everybody kind of just came into this.
It is O'Reilly Auto Parts series.
What, the O'Reilly's or the O'Reilly?
O'Reilly Auto Parts series.
I'll never get it right. You're like, I'm not calling it the Xfinity series.
So the Busch race, what happened?
The Busch race, yeah, absolutely. The next race, what happened? In the O'Reilly Auto Parts series race, I think people really expected this to be kind of a face-off against like Zilich and SVG, but it really didn't go quite to that plan. If that's what you tuned in and wanted to see, there were some drivers out there who had something for them, and we saw some new name or some new names considering that Zilich and SVG have kind of dominated road courses in that series the last couple of years. Kind of rise back up to the top, but these aren't schlubs. These are guys who've done well and they called good races and they put themselves in good positions. I mean, SVG though, what a move at the end, buddy.
I mean,
hot knife and butter.
I mean, look, there were several times in this race where I was jumping up in the air like, oh, look at him. Like, that's like, hey, look, Buddy Pulley HQ is a great place to be. during the delayed watching of the O'Reilly Auto Parts race. No, I mean SVG, dude. I mean, what can you say? Greatest in the world. Yeah, hot knife through butter. I like that analogy. I mean, it's funny. You watch him in these races, and sometimes it's like you know an animal in the jungle playing with its food in the beginning of these things.
Very much so.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, as always, the O'Reilly Auto Parts race was fantastic. I'm just gonna keep saying it over and over again, so I don't call it the other thing. Um,
I mean, we were talking about it earlier. SVG was looking like a puma in the wild, the tall grass, just ready to launch himself at the end of these races to get a win. It worked. I mean, that move he made took it 3 wide, the inside of whatever number letter corner that was. Don't that's if you're here to learn track maps,
turn one, dude.
Place, whatever corner it was, he come flying in there like a bald eagle on the inside. Said, "I'm coming through, boys." Just shot it through there. It was too late. They couldn't close up the door on him, and he was gone. He was in his own zip code after that. I mean, it was a little bit of a battle for a lap or two there. Austin Hill ends up getting out into second place. Sam Mayer had a pretty good day. One of the drivers that didn't run toward the front, though, that I was pretty impressed with was the young Brent Cruz out there putting folks. Brentley doing a little work out there, up there in turn 1 when they were 4 or 5 wide for a minute. He took the road less traveled, got himself right to the lead of the race.
Yeah, dude, Brent's good. He raced a little bit of Trans Am stuff here in the past couple of years. He raced the full season of Cars Tour. He's a good little driver, dude. He's going to be somebody we definitely are going to hear more about here in the coming years.
Yeah, some big expectations for him.
Yeah. He's a good driver, good dude. We saw last year, he ran well in his first truck race and then almost won the Roval in the Truck Series last year. So, I mean, Britt's going to be somebody we hear more about. And he's, turns 18 here in a couple weeks. So he's going to go full-time after that. So get ready.
Yeah, only part-time right now. And correct me if I'm wrong, buddy. Isn't the story about Brent Cruz? Isn't the story that he funded his own truck ride too? Where he sold the TA2, they had to sell the TA team. I felt like I heard that somewhere. Somebody can promptly tell me to go myself. But I feel like I had heard the story of
either that or he owns a team or something. I don't know. It was
very they tried to give it this headline of very taking chances. That was the overall sentiment of the story when I had heard it secondhand online. But if it all works out, I'd love to see somebody run that 19 car full time. I feel like JGR just uses that Xfinity car, just kind of have $100,000, jump in a car, kid. I don't think that's a secret. I think Sheldon Creed kind of ruined that secret a couple of years back there. But it'd be nice to see a competitive weekly driver for that team and that program. But Brent Cruz making moves. Buddy, would you like to talk a little bit about Cory Day? I'm just gonna tee you up, and I'm gonna let you drive away with this one, and I'll swoop in at the end.
Oh man,
using profanities that I can't.
Cory Day, dude. Oh man, have a day. Dart without feathers, piss missile. What are some other analogies we can throw at him?
There were a lot of people calling him a lot of names on Twitter.
There was a lot of expletives. Dude, you're not making any friends. I mean, he is not sorry, I'm fighting my cat. There we go.
Happy's never happy.
No, he's never happy with this whole situation. He was not a fan of Cory Day. Dude, I mean, the kid, I said it last week about him. He's figured out how to be fast. Now he needs to figure out how to not run over people. And it's going to be a rough road, I think, for him. I think we go to Martinsville here in a few weeks, and I think he's going to get everything and then some back for quote unquote mistakes. Here's something I don't like about it. Last week it was a blown tire. This week it was we were on the splitter, or like we were dragging a truck, or some story. I don't know. And it's just like, come on now. Come
Just
on.
tell people you're fucking not
You
paying
f***ed
attention. Or,
You f***ed up.
Admitting to it, I feel like people can like respect that more than some excuse that everyone can clearly, like, it's not like we can't go back and look at the race. Like, we can see that he didn't cut the tire. We can see that, the shit he says ain't true. I think Happy's on his way to go St. Claus and Cory Day right now. Cory better watch out.
Excuse me for one moment. The dumb son of a...
Knock your shit over?
Got my ring light. All right. So, but one of the incidents he had was quite interesting. He got in the back of, forget his name. They never mention him. Connor Zilic. That's who it was. So yeah, they got in the back of Connor Zilic, and he caught a lot of flack for it. He caught a lot of flack for getting into Connor. And, it could be, you could call it a rookie mistake. You could call it him just driving over his head. Seems legit. Seems, like he's done that a lot lately. But, it's weird. I look back at we'll say Watkins Glen last year in the O'Reilly's race with Connor and SVG. And, it was a misjudgment then. And this time it's driving like an idiot. And those two look awfully similar to me. It's really weird how that works. So I'd like for someone, if we could get an expert on next week to kind of explain to me exactly what the difference is between Cory Day, just nicking the back bumper of Connor Zilic and turning him around, and Connor right hooking his teammate. So I think either way, I'm all for calling Cory Day out for making a stupid mistake. It's just, we gotta make sure we stay consistent. That's all I ask.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think Cory Day more than nicked the bumper on the one.
Oh, you look back at Watkins Glen, man, it looks like a nick. Compared to
I'm talking about Cota. The thing with him with Zilic is that this wasn't the first time that day he had misjudged that portion of the track through the S's. He had an incident earlier in the race, same kind of deal, and then you think you learn from that. Maybe you decide to check if you're clear before you jump down in there. No siree, just sends it right in on there. It doesn't matter if it's Connor Zilic or whoever it is, but as you said earlier, not making any friends that way. And to play devil's advocate, since I know you're such a SVG defender, at least Connor made that move for the lead. If you're gonna go do something dumb and take a high risk, chance, at least make it worth it, not where you're running around mid-pack.
Like I said last week, we don't always have to play devil's advocate. We just call it what it is, and both moves were dumb as hell.
They're both dumb as hell. They are. Yeah, I don't...
Anyway, I'll get off my Connor Zilic soapbox until we get to Sunday.
Yeah. But my thing with Cory Day, though, is like he was hailed as like this generational talent. I never
Sounds
forget
familiar.
when like Kyle Larson did like some kind of press pack for Cory Day when he was first brought into Heavy Motorsports, and dude, they were glazing this kid left, right, and middle, and I have not seen.
No.
And even watching some of the dirt car stuff he's done, I have not seen this generational talent. Is talented for sure, but the judgments are not there quite yet. But we were all young once. We all did dumb shit. Dumb shit was my favorure thing to do when I was young. So hopefully he works it all out.
Yeah, and kind of closes. Like I said, he's fast. There's gonna be some lessons that he has to learn the hard way this year, and I think that's coming. But I have seen, at least now, you look back at the beginning of last year, He wasn't fast. He wasn't doing anything right. He was wrecking. He was wrecking, and he wasn't fast. He's at least fast now. But yeah, either way,
He's no Chris Wright, I'll tell you that. He's leagues ahead of
no, no.
that type of competition. So he's got a lot to look forward to. He seems like he's pretty secure in that seat too. So it's all just a learning process to get yourself ready for what's next. So hopefully that all works out. But that was something that was you couldn't miss the Cory Day thing this weekend, especially if you're tuning into the broadcast. Cup Series though, buddy,
Yeah.
the boys made history down there in the Lone Star State. Everything's bigger in Texas. I mean, Michael Jordan and Tyler Reddick standing next to each other every week. It's like that movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Like, what are we doing? Reddick goes back to back to back, though. Start the season. Daytona, Atlanta, Coda in that 45 car. What a time to be alive. Tyler Reddick. I don't know what they had under the hood of that thing. It felt like he had 50 extra horsepower in some of those sections of that track. I don't know what they got that thing geeked up on, but he was just a bull in a china shop at the end of that race, having to keep her straight. So SVG didn't run him down. But what a win, a historic win. We were getting history either way. Either Reddick was going to win 3 in a row to start the year, or SVG was going to win on the road course to break Jeff Gordon's record. So sure, it's not quite the history you were looking for, but historic weekend nonetheless in the Cup Series.
Yeah, Reddick. I mean, dude, I'm all for history being made. I think domination is good for the sport. It may be annoying in the present for some people, but you look at historic runs in the past. Whether it be a Jimmy Johnson or Richard Petty winning 10 races in a row back in 19 whatever. Look, these little nuggets are something we look back on and we call back to when somebody else try to do the same thing years down the road. And it's Tyler Reddick, I think, is probably a top 3, 4, 5 talent in the Cup Series, up there with Larson, Bell, Van Gisbergen, and the other kid, maybe one day. But for him to win the first 3 races of the year and to have Michael Jordan there, I mean, we've said, I don't know that we can really harp on it any more than we have the first 2 weeks, but I mean, he's looking like John and Gregory out there. I mean, it's cool to see, man. He just can't lose, and go 4 in a row, dude. Go for it. I'm here for it.
The rate they're running right now, I mean, who knows? It's been a lot of fun to see MJ at the track. I think, it's good for the sport. Coming off the heels, too, of the lawsuit earlier in the offseason and everything that came from that, we're not the legal experts on it all. We all know how it kind of shook out with them coming to a settlement. But Michael Jordan, gets interviewed every week after these wins. And I love, like, one comment he made this week was like, he's excited for the win, but he's still talking about how it's time for change in the sport. And you've put your tinfoil hat on so tight the blood cuts off the circulation to your brain. And that's exactly what I have done, because I think Michael Jordan is coming for everybody's neck. I don't think this is you said that people were talking about how this was fixed for Tyler Reddick. Shut the up. These guys are whooping ass right now, all on their own. You dumb people out there, if you think that Bill France wants to see Michael Jordan, the guy that just tried to sue his pants off, in victory lane 3 weeks in a row, I don't think so.
I don't know, Sal, because you got to think. I mean, that's given NASCAR some good pub, and they had to do that. I mean, I can only imagine what the lawyer cost and the court cost is from that trial. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe NASCAR's like, here.
I don't think so.
This is good for business. We can get some of that money back. I don't know, Sal.
I think historically it could be said with fairness.
We don't know the conditions of the settlement. Maybe this was written in.
Have been a little bit petty in their previous dealings with some of the teams and such. I don't think that's a secret. I don't know. Maybe I need to start thinking more businessly minded over here about what could be happening behind the scenes. But I think people are. I want whatever rock those people are smoking because it's got to be pure and good. Because you got to be crazy to think they want Tyler Reddick in victory lane 3 times in a row to start the year after that lawsuit. But they got the best cars. I mean, him and Bubba leading the points right now, 1-2. Michael Jordan out here tap dancing on everybody's grave. It's the most fun thing I've ever seen. I've never seen, his big goofy ass in there with Tyler Reddick is the funniest contrast of driver owner. I mean, dude's
He wins
gigantic.
in threes, baby. He wins in threes.
Fun. This time they actually recreated the photo.
Yeah.
Without using AI, I noticed that. Tyler Reddick, good on
Yes.
him and his social folks
Yes.
for putting that one together. That one was fun to see. Done legit this time. So that was cool. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think they're not rigging these races.
No, they're not rigging these races.
People
It's fun though.
bitching
It's
about
fun though.
that.
Hey, let's go back though. Finish of the race. Let's go back like 45 seconds.
Sure.
Dude, I thought someone got shot when Mike Joy screamed about Carson Osborne. Dude, I was sitting there. I wasn't paying attention. SVG wasn't going to win. I was looking at my phone. They got the white flag. I was like, this is over. I'm looking at my phone, and Mike Joy goes, car around, and I'm not going to scream it like he did. And I full on went, like, I look back. My TV's right here. I look, like, oh my God.
The reaction to the host of our spin was pretty intense, but I think he got so amped up because you don't want to see the caution come out at that stage of the race if you're Tyler Reddick. So it could have changed the whole.
No, it was on the white flag lap. It was inconsequential. It was inconsequential.
Called it. Who knows? I don't know.
It was inconsequential. It was just, it scared the shit out of me. I know I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one.
Cole Custer gave him a good shot to put him around sideways.
Is that what happened? I never saw a replay.
Yeah, there was a replay of it. He was coming off of the corner in the dirt a little bit, and I guess him and Custer were door banging. And as Carson started to drive away from him on the outside, Custer did a little bit of a right hand turn there and just spun him right off the nose into the wall.
Old Tubby Tustard getting some, dude.
I love Cole's Custard. It's my favorite.
I mean, hey, look, don't mess with Cole Custer, man. We seen him take down. You seen him take down John Hunter Nemechek that one time. It was crazy.
He has a great ice cream flavor at Andy's Custard too. It's got pretzels in it. That's all I remember.
Ooh, I didn't know that was a thing. There's Andy's right down.
Custard is literally what it's called when you go to Andy's.
Really? Oh
That
shit!
sponsorship is from a while ago.
There's
from a couple of years ago.
There's Andy's right down the street.
Are you telling me that I've had Cole's Custard and I live 2,000 miles away from the nearest Andy's and you haven't?
No,
That's
I never had that.
Buddy, get up right now and go get some ice cream. Anyway, it is delicious, but yeah, Mike Joy just about sounded like somebody got shot in the head when he started shouting, hooting, and hollering like that. Set a bolt of lightning up through me at the end after getting lulled to sleep for a minute. But you talk about the end of that race. I mean, it was just about the last 15 laps of the entire, the third stage there. I mean, it looked like, Reddick and SVG were going to be the contenders at the front. Personally, I thought SVG had been holding off all day. He had been running super consistent lap times, and I felt like he could have got more out of the car. And then as he started to creep up to Reddick at the end, you saw the car start to fall off even heavier and heavier and heavier. And I don't think that's a knock on SVG in any way. I think the car maybe wasn't exactly the way he had hoped it would, and the tire was kind of falling off a little faster than he had predicted. Because I remember one of the pit like breaks, they had talked about the right front or the left front was just melting off of it.
Yeah,
and he wasn't thrilled about some of that. So just however the car's set up, and I'm not an engineer, I don't do math. Just not able to run down Reddick, but Bell and Gibbs, you saw on the newer tires.
Well,
you saw that delta. It was crazy.
Yeah, SVG, I kind of knew he was cooked not cooked, but when he qualified 13th, I was like, all right, we might be in trouble here, boy.
I thought he was sandbagging. I honest to God did. I thought he was going to sandbag him because the SMT gets shared with everybody. And then they can kind of go see what you did all day. I thought they were going to hold off and wait to the end to really put a can of whoop ass on it.
I was kind of hoping that too, but I mean, dude, the rally though, because like, he was dogging Reddick for however long, and I mean, Reddick and Blaney were light years better than him all day, but he just got up there and got him some. I mean, it's like it was you've seen the end of Rogue One. Darth Vader comes in and just that's what it looked like, dude. He didn't quite get the Death Star plans to save NASCAR from from whatever 2311's got cooking. But he tried. He took out some innocent men in the process.
I mean, SVG made Tyler Reddick, though, be perfect on every corner. The drive-off that 45 car was getting, I mean, he couldn't afford to stumble, to have the rear kick out even a little. A slip and a slide or whatever, he could not afford it. SVG, for a handful of laps, was right there ready to take him on.
Toyota, moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, just unreal from Tyler Reddick to be able to hold that together. The pressure, I don't know. I'd have been shitting my pants. Speaking of, I mean, quite a few drivers were shitting their pants this weekend. Alex Bowman coming out of both holes. God bless you, Alex. We hope you're well. I know AJ Allmendinger had some heat-related medical too. Fox. What are we doing cutting to a guy unconscious on the ground? What are we doing with that? Why? Why?
That was
Why?
Yeah. What a great win for Tyler Reddick and AJ Allmendinger's just the subplot. Like it just kaputted. Not a good look, which
Super
I'm
strange.
Not surprised. Yeah.
Super strange.
The
Kyle
Alex
Larson.
Bowman deal was interesting.
Yeah, there was more to that than just getting sick. I mean, you heard him on the radio. I don't know if you heard the radio on that, but he sounded like very unwell.
Yeah,
coming down pit road. Like
I
don't know if he was puking in the helmet or he was like half crying. I felt for him because he just, when you're real sick and you like can't breathe and you can't talk. That's what he sounded like in that car.
Yeah,
and then he jumps out of the car. And then Snyder jumps in the car, who you know more about than I do. I had never seen anybody jump from the top of the box into a suit and into the car.
Dude, shout out to him though. Shout out to him though for having his suit and helmet ready. Like what a dog.
Carries it around with him.
He's a pit spotter for Fox, and he's like, nope, you never know when you're gonna get the call.
Good for him.
What a hero.
Just getting that car to get across the finish line, get Hendrick those points for the day, for the car at least, owners championships and manufacturers championship points. I mean, I don't think he's ever driven a cup car before.
No, he's never driven a cup.
Going around that he had texted Brad Perez asking him where the
I have it right here. I have it right here, dude. I was so ready. Myatt text Brad Perez. He goes, as soon as you can, what's the breaking point for the turn off of the S's at Coda? And he goes, like right at or slightly before the last tire stack. Turn 6A. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it was a whole exchange they had.
I mean, dude, just
I give him a lot of credit.
It's incredible, dude. It's incredible. It's an incredible story. I hope that he goes on some sort of podcast this week and we can hear the other side of that, because I mean somebody had the analogy of like it was like a D2 quarterback getting called into the game after mid ESPN call or whatever. It's incredible, dude. It's an incredible story. It's one of those things that we're gonna hear about for a long time. I hope it's gonna be one of those like it's gonna be a trivia question one day.
Who finished the car? Or who finished the race for the 48 in the 2026 Coda race? I mean,
name the 3 drivers that have driven the 48 car in a Cup Series race. I mean,
big that was kind of a funny thing. And then after he was like very thankful. I heard that on the radio, trying to
Trivia
grease the skids for the next time they need him.
trivia question: who was the last guy to make their Cup Series debut via relief drive?
There's a handful in my mind that I
Take a
know
guess.
that was the case, but I don't know what the most recent one was. None of them are recent enough that I feel confident in the answer.
Go ahead.
There's no way it's right.
What? Say it. Get it out. The people are waiting.
Everyone knows my Martin Truex Jr. biases, but it's definitely not him. He's not the most recent. That is how he made his Cup Series.
That is how he made his Cup Series debut.
It's definitely not the most recent.
No, it's not. It's Eric Jones, Bristol,
Eric
2015.
Jones, was
he
it?
got in the car for Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin was having back spasms.
Yeah, see, I can't. I only lock into the shit like that, like for the drivers that I follow. That was too long. 2015. What was I doing in 2015? Nothing good. It took me a long time to come up with a dog answer like that. I don't know, buddy. You got me stumped out here. No more trivia questions. Son of a. God. Where was I? I forgot. I lost my total train of thought.
We're talking about cool suits or something. Kyle Larson.
Oh, Kyle Larson. Talking about his cool suit failing. Hotter than hotter than the devil's asshole down there in Circuit of the Americas. I mean, hot air blowing in his helmet, warm air cycling through the cool suit.
A lot of sus comments.
Getting delirious, making some real sus comments in there.
Pause.
Phrasing. We're going to have to reteach the field that one. He wasn't the only one, though. As we said, AJ Allmendinger, everybody's okay, but some heat-related things. I know people were complaining about road courses, too, after the race. Brad Keselowski not loving the road courses for NASCAR.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Comment. I only saw that today.
Maybe this is a hot take. Brad Keselowski obviously has the broken leg. It's an incredible story that he's able to come back and that he was able even to finish the race. He finished 20th, which is not a bad finish for Brad on a road course, to be honest with you. I get the pride aspect of it, but do we think Joey Hand maybe could have gotten a better finish, better points today out of it? I mean, I hate to be that guy, but like,
I mean, he approached the answer from a very business-minded kind of side where it's hard to sell sponsors and the TV numbers are down, and apparently those are all facts. I haven't seen that myself. I don't know. I take it at face value as part of the interview exchange he had, but I think the number of road courses and street courses that the series has right now is the best balance it's ever been.
You just blew right over my question.
I didn't even know what you said.
What the fuck? Who the hell am I talking to?
Trivia thing. It's all I can think about now. You got me so good. You turned the left side of my brain into.
Brad had Joey Hand on standby.
Yeah, because of his busted ass leg.
Yes. And Brad finished 20th. And like,
what do you think Joey Hand would have finished?
I'm not saying he would have done better, but like if he would, I mean, the amount of speculation around this, do we think maybe? Okay, all right, fine.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm just saying, Brad's he's not exactly a road course ringer. He'll tell you, hence why he's about
they probably
the amount of road courses on the schedule.
Got a little more balance in their game,
yeah.
Than what they thought. But
yeah, but
might have been a loaded question to start.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Just
calling it like you see it, making an observation.
Making an observation. Yep, observation tower over here at Bonnie Pulley HQ.
Where am I now? I lost my spot on my sheet, buddy. You
Dude,
me all
I
turned
got
around.
you up with that trivia.
Yeah,
You
you
know who
did.
was before Martin Truex with that? It was
God,
I
now I'm
don't even
second you,
remember.
buddy.
Somebody filling in for Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle. Not
Yeah.
many people making their debuts in relief, huh?
No, this is back when Watkins Glen in 2000. I don't know, Butch like Zinger or somebody. I don't remember who it was.
Better you than me, because Lord knows I don't. I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. Anyway, we'll get back to it a little bit so I can pull it together here. Point standings through 3 races. We've got some big movers. Top 5 in points right now, buddy. For me, I mean, and it's still really early, so I think this isn't clickbait. We're not trying to talk about who's going to make the chase and who's going to win championships. We got a lot of races left to figure all that out. But I will say, after saying that I won't say anything, that I firmly believe SVG will be in the chase this year. I do not see how he stays away from it with the point stays that he's had so far through the first 3 races.
As I told you last week, these are all real races. They all count for the same points.
100%.
But I mean, the first 5 races will give us a better idea. That's when I'm gonna really start paying attention to the points and where people are at, because we got a lot of guys at the bottom of the barrel, way down the list. We've still got Bell and Hamlin. They're outside the top 20. I think Ross Chastain is 20th. You got some guys up there too. Like, I mean, McDowell, Suarez.
Yeah.
Some guys that have
McDowell's
gotten
on my
off
list.
have gotten off to a good start, but we'll see if they can keep that up to stay in the hunt. I think SVG will make it too. Based off how cold his start was last year and how much he improved at the end of last year, I think he can make it in. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's a little early for that.
Yeah, it definitely is. It was just interesting to see how many spots some of these drivers jumped in the points.
Yeah.
McColl's up 11 spots. AJ Allmendinger up 10 spots. Ty Gibbs up 16 spots. So, you talked about it last week where, it's a mountain to climb going up, but
Yeah.
it's a slippery slope going back down. I mean, they're jumping up the board for the moment because of the different types of tracks we've had. Ty Gibbs, I felt like, had a really good day. I think, he finished 3rd, 4th, something like that?
Yeah. Give a call too to Daniel Suarez. They were Clint Boyer was questioning the pit call to stay out and get stage points on the broadcast. He was saying he gave up the win of the race. If Clint Boyer would actually pay attention to what's going on during the race, he would realize that Daniel Suarez was running like 20 something, and because he got the extra like 6 or 8 points in that stage, that was the difference between him being 7th in points and 11th in points.
Big jump for
Yeah.
Stage flip.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, and that explains, like, I mean, there's a chunk of guys right there within a couple points of each other. Yeah. We're getting ready to really find out who's a contender. Reddick, though, up 70-something points.
Crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
He's going to be on. I mean, I don't think when people saw the chase format come out that we thought we would get a 3-time, 3-peat, 3 in a row to start the season winner. I mean, Christopher Bell won 3 in a row last year, or right? 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Just not the first 3.
Yeah.
So we know it's possible, but now with the points, I think the way that it's scored, it kind of becomes more glaring. How much better he's going to be in a position come toward the end if he can continue to have consistent runs of speed, which it seems like they've got it all figured out over there at 2311.
Yeah. But about to find out.
Connor Zilic, buddy.
God.
You put him on the show sheet. You wanted to talk about
myself a hole.
His little slip and slide move up there going through turn 1. It seemed like they were about 5 wide. One car hits another car, accordions into the 88. Him and Zane Smith do a little sideways Tokyo drifting and, come to a rest up at the top of turn 1. Kind of ruined his day. He was making a pretty substantial charge back up through the field after getting banged around a little bit. But What were your feelings on the day for public enemy number one for Buddy Pulley, ladies and gentlemen, Connor Zilic?
Um, it was not the day that everyone was expecting, but it's about the day I was expecting for him. I said he was going to run. Everybody thought he was going to win the race. I don't. That was you're living in the clouds. You're bumping your head on the International Space Station if you think he was going to win that race. But no, I mean, I give a call to him. He ran a really good race. Got up to the top five before he didn't protect his neck in turn one and got himself wrecked. But
it's kind of a wild deal up there.
No. I'm not conceding this. No, I'm 100% serious. He's gonna. This is another just a thing he's gonna look back on and he's gonna be like, I should have protected myself. It's the same way you run a fast line in qualifying, you run a different line when you got people right up your ass. You gotta protect your neck. I mean, welcome to the Cup Series, dude. You can't take a wide arc, leave 5 lanes open underneath you at COTA and expect not to get pushed out. I mean, that's just. And that's just real. That's what it is. I'm not. And
I think he would have been fine where he was if he was able to come off of that. But it was just the
But what do you expect? Go look at tape, bro.
Oh, I mean, it's the same situation. You could look at the turn one crashes at COTA, and they all look pretty similar because everybody's trying to do a pretty similar thing to get track position back there. I was impressed though. Not Zilic specific related, but how clean they did keep it throughout the day.
Yeah, they did. There. They did. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, he had a decent day. He had a day he had about the day I expected him to have. I expected him to run top 5, top 10, and wasn't entirely shocked when he got turned. And so.
All right. Any final thoughts on the Cup race, buddy? Yeah, I don't have too much else here. I thought it was a great race overall. The Gluck poll,
I thought it was fun. Yeah, dude.
The Gluck poll came back, despite Brad Keselowski saying it's like the least viewed, at least the people who watched enjoyed it because it was one of the better ranked COTA races, I believe, on his Twitter poll. So good stuff for the Cup Series. I mean, drawing in. I saw a lot of content creators out at the race this weekend. They put on quite a show as usual down at Circuit of the Americas. They had concerts and they had all kinds of activations at the track. Never been to that racetrack, place that's been on my list for a long time.
Yeah,
maybe someday, but it seems like people have a lot of fun at the event. That's one of my big things when we talk about this racetrack stuff is making it exciting for folks all weekend long, and I think they did a great job of that. So people looked like they had a good time on social. And
do you think I could pee off the observation tower?
Ooh, I mean,
would
physically, could you?
Yeah. Or I mean, could I? Yeah, I know I could, but like, you think that would be like a world record?
The highest elevated
piss. Yeah.
Piss. I mean, somebody's got to pissed off the top of Mount Everest or something, right?
Ah, yeah, you're probably right.
It's like a mountain or some shit. Good thought, though. I like the creativity in the thought.
You got to,
maybe there's like a loophole in there somewhere where it's like the highest.
Yeah, I mean the high. Yeah, or like man-made. Like yeah.
Could be something.
We'll research that. We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that, and we'll get you a case of Busch Lights, and we'll put it to the test one of these years.
Yeah, dude. Austin's weird, bro.
Moving into more weird. We're going to get into some voicemails. I want to thank everybody who called this week.
Yeah, you can call us anytime you want, all hours of the night. Sal will pick up the phone.
You'll get me live in action. I don't remember what order they're in, and I like to not remember.
That's fantastic.
It makes the reaction that much better. But you can call us anytime, just like these folks did. So let's give it a listen here.
Hey, buddy and Sal. This is Blaze McIntyre. Long time friend of buddy. Kind of been a year though, but
I don't know this guy.
I just want to talk about this Cory Day guy. I don't know if I really like him or not. See, when he first came in, I was like, this dude's cool, but now he's like a sack of shit out there, wrecking everybody. I mean, I know, buddy, you don't like Connor Zilic, but I want to hear you guys' take about it.
Oh man, I wish.
Man calls a spade a spade.
Uh, man, the kettle is black. The kettle is black. Um, all right. To put it in more PR trained words, he's got some a little rough around the edges. He's to brush up on his racecraft.
He's got to keep his eyes open. Listen to his spotter. I think
I
that's
mean,
really
yeah.
the biggest thing. In terms of Cory Day. What could he do? I think in the future, I think it's unlimited. I think he could be,
Yeah.
he could be a successor to one of those Hendrick Cup cars if he plays his cards right and gets some good results for that Xfinity or that O'Reilly's Auto Parts team. We haven't seen anybody really run a lot of like one single driver run a lot of them races in that car over the last couple of years, but I hope he gets it straightened out because if he doesn't, I mean, either way, I'm entertained, right? He's going to go fast, race at the front, make for exciting races. He's going to go fast, wreck the piss out of people. People will then wreck the piss out of him. I'm still having a good time on my couch, but I really do hope he kind of goes with the former and just gets quick and figures out how he can be competitive without cleaning guys out.
Yeah. Big fan of his cousin SpongeBob, though. Stanley SquarePants looking at. Anyway,
next caller.
Hey, what was your thoughts about Carson Ellich pulling Doug Barnes away from Caden Quapple?
is it Blaze again?
Caden, he
All right.
did Doug Barnes dirty. It was terrible. He put him in the wall. I mean, if I was Doug, I would have parked in the victory lane and mooned the crowd.
Mooned
That's
the
all
crowd.
I want to hear your take on it.
Randy Moss style. I like that.
Oh my God.
Well, buddy, you were there, weren't you?
I was standing about 5 feet from this when it happened. Yeah, so what happened is Caden Quapple put Doug Barnes Jr. in the wall coming off turn 4. I mean, that's about as eloquent as I can put it. And Doug went up there and rattled his cage in victory lane. Contrary to popular belief, it was actually not Carson Ellich who grabbed him out of the car, and I'm going to actually save the rest of the story for the AI slap segment because it has something to do with that. But yeah.
We saw the video.
Handling business.
She was in there, elbows out.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, she's got a reputation to uphold, and she lives by it. Hey, she is the law.
I saw the highlight of Barnes going up in the wall, and I loved that Quapple's excuse was he hit some water on the track. Is that one of those guys use a lot that they think people don't know is kind of a answer?
Well, there were some weepers 6 hours before.
6 hours before.
Yeah. And we did run a 100-lap pro late model race and then a 125-lap, or I guess 118 lap.
I think that took care of any moisture in the area.
You would have think more guys would have found that before 8 laps to go, but that's if you want more coverage from the Cars Tour, On Tour will be out Wednesday of this week. We'll be covering all the action for Southern National.
Excellent. We'll look forward to On Tour to hear your breakdown and understand more about what's going on in the Cars Tour and that whole situation. One last caller.
What's up, Sal and Buddy? It is Chris Golland from Above the Yellow Line online editorial calling into our very own podcast. Not really sure how long I'm supposed to make this, but I am going to give it a whirl. I kind of said this to some of you guys during the race. I think it's so awesome that Myatt Snyder got to hop in the car in the way that he did. I think the way that played out, all of a sudden, with him having brought his helmet and fire suit is really, really cool. And he certainly did a fine job considering the lack of notice and how all of a sudden that was. But I do want to reiterate the take I had right after that happened, which is that personally, I don't know if I think drivers should be allowed to sub in mid-race if they've never made a Cup start before. You hear these drivers talk about how different the next-gen Cup car is from the cars in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and the Craftsman Truck Series. So to have someone with no notice, no prep time, hop in there in a car that is very different from what they have driven in real life on the track. I'm sure Myatt's probably done some simulator training in a Cup car before, but I digress. So different from what they've done in other series. I think that could potentially prove risky, if not just simply, a bit of a hazard and inconvenience for the field to have them out there. I don't know. I don't know if I agree you should be able to do it that way. And I'm nothing against the job Myatt did. He certainly was up to the task, as tall as it was. So it's not at all a Myatt Snyder complaint. It more just made me think about that situation in general. So, curious to know what you guys think. Again, I'm going to reiterate, nothing against Myatt. He was awesome. The story's awesome. But that is my take on that whole situation.
Chris is definitely not a certified Myatt Snyder hater. We just want to make that very
Yeah,
clear.
make that very clear. Look, we had Cletus McFarland running the truck race last year. We approved Minnie Tyrell for the truck race because he ran an ARCA race the day after. Our approval process isn't exactly up to snuff. Now, is it an argument to be made? No. Mike Snyder's a proven winner in the Xfinity Series. He's run several seasons of Xfinity. What are the first races that drivers are approved for when making the jump from O'Reilly to Cup is road courses and short tracks. I mean, I don't. Plenty capable. I would rather him get in a Cup car 5 laps down with 20 laps to go in the race than have him start mid-pack from the jump in a race. Like this.
Think about the hazard cost, right?
If anything, this is how it always should be done, because you look at some of these guys. Oh, you got to run 10 laps in a truck at Rockingham, and you knock the turn 2 wall down 3 or 4 times. talking about nobody in particular, but we talked about how maybe getting some of these guys in a race situation. How do we simulate a race situation for these guys to be in?
No
Bingo was his name-o. I think go for it, dude. I think this was probably, in my opinion, I think this is the perfect way to do it. Now, we can't do this with everybody. We can't we can't throw everybody into a race situation, but a guy like Myatt, who is a veteran of NASCAR's, tier 2 and 3 divisions, I think it was fair.
Yeah, I think, under the circumstances where they're not going to come out there and be in the mix of the pack, they're laps down, he's at the rear-ish of the field, just running the race to get the car to the end of the race. Now, if it was a different situation where he's, mired in the pack and it's a hazard for other drivers that are, much more experienced than him, different conversation for me. And it's funny that we talked about drivers who made their debuts as, relief drivers, because, maybe it was different back in the day when I said Martin Truex, making his debut for in that 8 car. He had been running the Busch Series, was a Busch Series champion at that point. And it's like, okay, the cars weren't as different then I don't think from Busch to Cup. Now maybe a world apart based on the technology leap that you do have in the next gen car. I think if it was somebody else, maybe they would have stopped him, but they had the officials right there, and Snyder's all ready to go. I thought he did a great job. I think if it gets out of hand, Chris has a good point where, hey, we're going to start bringing Cletus along for a relief series driver for a Cup Series. Then I'm losing the plot. So I think there's limits to it. But should they have just parked the 48? If you got somebody, great, let them go. If not, then all right. But You can't just put any Tom, Dick, or Harry in that wheel, behind that wheel, and I don't think that's what they did.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Let her rip, Tater Chip. All right, that's the end of the 3 calls. We want to thank Blake McIntyre, who I still cannot believe is a real name. Blaze. Blake. What the Blake? Where'd I get Blake from?
I don't know, man.
Blaze. Even more fantastical. The lore gets written even deeper with a name like Blaze. And Chris for calling in. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts.
Appreciate Chris, all you do for ATYL.
Yes, Chris is on the ball, ladies and gentlemen. Any article you read, maybe not
any article, but
a lot of articles you
read.
Chris has either been a part of or had eyeballs on before it heads out the door. Him and Adam. I mean, they're there's a lot of people, but Chris is a busy dog for us over here at ATYL. So thank you for taking the time to give us a call, give us your take, a good take. We just just be better next time.
Damn.
Fake news AI slop. You mentioned something about Carson Elrich when we discussed Blaze's call about the Cars Tour. Why don't you hit us with a little bit of that something over there, buddy?
Yeah. All right. So I'll have you guys know I found a fantastic AI slot page over the weekend. It's called Varsha. I don't know if it's based out of the Netherlands or wherever else these AI slot pages are, but it's good. So this one I picked specifically because I was there this past weekend. Dale Earnhardt's granddaughter's viral Cars Tour brawl earns NASCAR community. Sorry, I got a text. Earns NASCAR community's ultimate respect. Okay. Dale Earnhardt's granddaughter, a rising talent in the NASCAR late model and Cars Tour scene. She's not a driver.
Drive the car? Yeah.
No, she does not. Found herself at the center of a heated on-track incident during a recent Cars Tour event that quickly went viral across social media. Mind you, they spelled car, or they wrote Cars Tour as cars, like the word cars, not as an acronym. The brawl erupted after late race contact led to a post-race confrontation involving multiple drivers and crews, with Earnhardt's granddaughter standing her ground amid the chaos. What could have been a scene of controversy instead earned widespread respect from the NASCAR community for her toughness, composure, and willingness to defend herself in a competitive environment. Fans and veterans praised her grit, drawing comparisons to the hard-nosed racing style of her legendary grandfather. The incident highlighted the passion and intensity still alive.
More of this still, buddy?
Yes. Still alive in grassroots NASCAR racing, where emotions run high, respect is earned through resilience. He, in the sport, commended her for handling the situation with class afterwards, turning a negative moment into one that showcased her potential as a fierce competitor ready for bigger stages. So much is wrong with this.
I feel like you just dumped a bucket of diarrhea in my ear.
I did. I love the
Christ.
repetitiveness of the entire thing. Couple things wrong with this. Carson Elledge does not race in the Cars Tour, nor does she really race anymore. They did get it right. She is an absolute badass and not one to fuck with. But what makes this even funnier is the girl in the video grabbing Doug Barnes and yanking him back is not Carson Elledge. It's Kennedy Elledge, Carson's sister.
Okay.
Yeah, breaking news, I guess, right here for most people. But yeah, so much wrong with this whole. I'm so excited that I found this page, because this is exactly the that I'm looking for to expose on this podcast. Yeah.
This is going to be your long-term AI slot.
This is going to be my go-to. This is going to be my go-to from now.
All right. I mean, that article like makes me want to do a backflip off a bridge somewhere.
Yeah.
Repetitiveness makes my eyes glaze over and my feet go numb. I didn't like any of that. Make sure you check in on your peepaws and your pawpaws this weekend. Clicking around on Facebook, make sure they're not getting sucked into the matrix on some of this AI slop. For all you young guns out there with your hotshot Facebook accounts, make sure you're check on your elders. Make sure they're not getting took. That's a wild AI slop, buddy. You're just putting my brain in a pretzel here tonight.
Back. We're so back, dude.
So back. Grind my gears. This is usually the part of the show where we talk about what grinds our gears. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I really have anything.
I mean, let's talk about the cool suit situation.
Okay.
Why do we have them?
Because people will die if they don't, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
It seems to be more hazardous than it is helpful.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, because when they break, they just hold hot water.
Yeah.
So
It makes it even worse.
Off even more.
It makes it worse.
I understand like the premise of trying to like get the.
That's like
they
the
do
Always
seem to
Sunny
fail
in
a lot.
That's like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing, where it's like it's better to have a gun and not need it than not have a gun and need it, or whatever the thing is. You know what I'm talking about?
I just started blasting. Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. I don't see so good, so I missed. Yeah. These hot races running around with their pieces attached to their chest, frying their nipples off in the middle of these races, dude.
I'd love to know why they break so often.
Dude, yeah.
They seem like when they need them the most, they break.
Yeah.
I get that they're kind of sophisticated systems or whatever, but it's really just a cold water pump running through a shirt with tubes in it. You know, some kind of coolant, refrigerant in the car to get the liquid cool through the cycle. Okay. You know, and then they break a lot. So it's like, I'm not totally understanding what the cause of the issues they have are, but the consequences seem to be pretty substantial with what we saw this weekend. So I don't know. Like, do you think they'd be in better shape not running them at all, just wearing the fire suit with no having a pool of hot water around their bodies?
I'm gonna read you a quote from BJ McLeod.
My man. I love
BJ McLeod. Yep.
Shout out BJ McLeod, friend of the show.
This comes from Sage Karam. He tweeted this yesterday. He said, BJ McLeod once told me at driver intros when we were talking about cool suits, you need to put more meat on your bones. A bigger turkey takes longer to cook than a smaller turkey.
Smart man right there.
That's right. That's right.
Smart man.
In BJ, we trust.
BJ's a dog.
That's right. Big old turkey.
Big dude.
Big old Thanksgiving turkey.
I mean, he raises a good point.
I mean,
sense.
you would take longer to cook than me.
It's all my my spry physicality that keeps me young and in shape and feeling like $1 million, buddy. And nobody's gonna believe that, right?
Believe that. Dude, nobody believes none of your big celery conspiracy theories.
Just here to propagate big celery. Buy Andy Boy celery. No, anyway. It's bad that I even know the brand name of the celery.
That's crazy, dude.
Just like you were a 12-year pizza man, I was a 2-year produce man, and it sticks with you.
You look like a produce dude, man. Yeah. Anyway, who finished last this week, Sal?
I love the produce. The produce didn't love me. Chase Briscoe finishes with some mechanical issues. Daddy Eddie ass last. He looked like at the beginning of this race he was having a pretty solid run up there, mixing it up with the leaders. But about halfway, 3/4 through the race, he comes on the radio, says only his left rear tire was turning. So something in the rear end or in the transmission just letting go, and that was that.
Guess his rear end transmission was wearing a cool suit.
Not just the drivers getting hot in the car. So you are still up until this week, buddy. You picked Riley Herbst to finish last. He did not finish lower on the board than a one Mr. Cody Ware. That gives us a 2-1 score for the season so far. I'm coming back.
All right. Long way to go. Long
I'm
season.
coming back. We're headed to Phoenix next week.
Phoenix. I got all right. Okay.
I'd like to know who you think is gonna be Daddy Eddie ass last.
Who do I think is gonna be dead last at Phoenix? Man. I was thinking we were going to Vegas, and I had somebody reared up for Vegas. I'm gonna go with who's notorious for having tire issues, because I think tires are going to be a problem. I think the Hendrick guys had tire issues at Phoenix in the fall.
Yeah,
We're gonna
they
go
sure
with
did.
we're gonna go with the Hendrick. We're gonna go with Cole Custer.
Cole Custer.
Cole Custer, yeah.
If you can believe it, that's who I had my mouse hovered over on the screen before.
All right.
Now NASCAR.com. I got to reevaluate a little bit here. I'm gonna go with the 4-car Noah Gragson.
Okay.
Noah's been having a little bit of a rough run. Finished P22, rallied back at COTA. To be honest with you, I don't have a ton of logic. He was just who my mouse was hanging over when I clicked away. Phoenix is a tough one for me. I do not like Phoenix. I do not like the track.
I've been to Phoenix.
It seems like a nice place to go. Like the track itself, to be a fan.
Phoenix in general is a nice place. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I've never
I
been
enjoyed
to
the
that.
city.
It seems very warm. You might need a cool suit out there.
Yep. Might break on you. I did not. Hey, I will have you know.
My big turkey ass would make it just fine out there. How you doing?
I'll have you know. I did not touch a cactus while I was out there.
Why not?
I wanted to, but
Why didn't you?
I was advised not to.
Or like, did the lizard people come get you?
No. My mom was there. She was like, "Don't do that." And my friend Seth, who's smarter than I, was like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that."
Touched a cactus once at a Starbucks in Las Vegas.
Yeah? How'd it go?
That's it. It was not a prickly cactus, so I was fine.
Okay, all right. What the f was even the point of bringing up that story?
Yeah, them little cactuses. They're big, but they don't got them big those spikes on them. Got little baby spikes you could.
Then you didn't touch a cactus. That doesn't count.
All right. Next time I go to the desert, I'll make sure I do
That's
it for
like
real.
that's like bumping uglies with your couch cushions, dude. Like, it doesn't count.
Poor buddy's couch cushions. Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the Raleigh area and there's a used couch for sale, make sure you bring your UV light.
Oh God, this administration.
You don't want to get caught out on that one.
Anyway, go ahead.
I have nothing else to go ahead on, buddy. This is it. We picked our finals for the very end. I will be at the race in Las Vegas, though, so we're going to have to figure out when to record this, because I will be on an airplane coming home, I believe, on that Monday night, or I will be incapacitated, where I will not have the things I need to record this podcast. So
we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out.
But I'll be out there for Vegas when the real racing starts again, boys. That seems to be what I see online a lot. And it's going to be the real race. I'm excited for Phoenix. I mean, you've been out to Phoenix. Tell me a little bit about.
You just said you hated Phoenix, and now you're saying you're excited for it. Have a backbone.
I'm excited for another week of racing.
Okay.
I'm excited to see the race, but I don't like Phoenix at all.
Did you know that the last two Phoenix races were won on the last lap pass? I have no clue if that's actually true. I saw something.
I know the
along
last
those
one
lines.
was. I don't know about the one before.
The last one was. I can't remember if Bell passed Hamlin on the last lap or they're side by. Either way, they were like, I don't know, something. They've been exciting, uncharacteristically compelling.
If you had to pick a winner for Phoenix, or a driver you feel has a very good chance to win at Phoenix, Is there one that comes to mind?
No.
You don't think Denny Hamlin's on the ultimate revenge tour to wreck the whole field and finish first?
Dude, I mean, look, there's a reason I suggested we should pick who finishes last, because I learned real quick I don't know who the is going to finish first. We had ATYL picks. We had ATYL picks last year. I finished dead last, DFL, and that.
I was making a strong run at the end. We didn't do that this year, did we?
No, we didn't.
Very sad. A lot to manage.
Yeah.
Our good friend Adam Lucas working the books.
Taylor won it, and so I guess she decided we didn't need it anymore.
That's what happens when the chief wins. She shuts it down. It's all over.
Yep.
All over.
State-run media. What this is.
State-run media.
Yeah.
IndyCar will also be at Phoenix alongside the Cup Series, so that'll be exciting. This track, if you're new to NASCAR, has a unique dog leg style, turn one where you can fan out on the bottom of the first turn, I guess. Would you call it a turn? I mean,
I'm gonna more about this next week. That the apron at Phoenix is, dude. I don't have pet peeves. I have major psychotic hatred, and I have major psychotic hatred for the apron at Phoenix. It's the dumbest thing. It makes us look like a bunch of monkeys trying to football. Is the stupidest.
I don't disagree with you. I do think it doesn't really make sense to me that we're leaving COTA, right? They put the tire barriers up, they enforce track limits, and we're going to go to Phoenix, and you can dive below the yellow line kind of as deep as you want onto an apron. Like the math ain't mathing to me in terms of what you can and can't do in these cars in this series. So it does make for some very compelling, very exciting racing. When I think of Phoenix, I think of was it 7 wide? Cory to the lead for the Truck Series last year for the championship.
Yeah.
I mean, does it make for exciting racing? Sure, but it's kind of at the same time. Buddy, I think you put it best. So I think that.
More to next week.
More, come tune in again next week for more about Phoenix. You know what though? For all the that we could do, we're blessed that this is no longer the championship weekend. And I don't care if it's a playoff format or a points format. I do not give a damn. I'm so glad we're back at Homestead for that final race. So that'll be, we can at least take the silver lining. Is there anything new or exciting or fun that you have to take us through the Italian goodbye this week? Any extraneous topics that you'd like to discover together?
That's a good word.
Yeah, I got that piece of paper, the good word paper. Very expensive. They gave it to me though.
What?
They gave me that piece of paper for knowing big words.
Oh, a degree?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't get one of them.
You don't need it.
Yeah, I know. We're sitting here on the same podcast. I realized that very quickly. Yeah, I realized that very quick. No, I don't know. I went to a car store race this past weekend. Car store opener. Fun times over there in Lucas, North Carolina. Obviously, as you heard earlier, saw a little bit of a scuffle, a kerfuffle. Something else that
what's
rhymes
the food
with
like out at the track in Lucas, North Carolina?
I didn't touch a bit of food out there. I had Chili's after the race, and wrote my story. And
is Carson Hocevar there?
Carson Hocevar was not there. Contrary to popular belief, Carson Hocevar is not at every Chili's.
I love the Chili's marketing they're doing right now, where they're recycling the leather from the booths and making cowboy boots out of them that you can purchase at like Tecovas or other. Like they're working with big cowboy boot retailers. Did you not know that? That face tells me you didn't know that.
The leather from what?
The booth seats, the red leather. So when they rip or they get messed up, they're taking the old leather, recycling it, or I guess upcycling it if we're being technical, and turning them into cowboy boots. You ever wear cowboy boots?
No.
Neither have I.
No,
I'm not a cowboy.
I'm curious to know what the dollar amount's going to be on these boots.
So I can tell you. Hold on. I'm going to find out for sure because I remember seeing an initial price for these.
It's
And
probably astronomically stupid.
I feel like they were in the hundreds of dollars range.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Which, if you've ever been into a boot store like this, it is not uncommon to find a $600 pair of cowboy boots.
Where do people get this money?
I would imagine those who wear the cowboy boots are in business of using them to generate the money to then purchase them. I don't know that because when I'm on the website here for Tecovas, please sponsor the show if you're listening. The marketing photos are all very lifestyle-ish. Doesn't scream, I sink these boots 2 feet into a pile of every day as part of my business or as part of my job. But they are very nice looking boots, I will say that.
I'm not paying no $200 for. I'll go take my pocket knife to a Chili's booth myself.
You could teach everybody out here how to use a sewing machine or something.
Ride the dente.
Ride the dente. What'd you get at Chili's? What's your Chili's?
Dude, it's all over the board. I got chicken bacon ranch nachos this past time. I'm a connoisseur of the triple dipper. We love the honey chipotle crispers. Those are fantastic. The quesadillas are good. I'm just a girl who loves Chili's, man.
All right. I love Chili's too. It's been a hot minute since I've been over to Chili's. I got one around the way here.
Cult following.
It's delicious though. I hadn't been to a Chili's. Like the marketing works. I feel like
it has no business being.
No?
No, it has no business being as good as it is.
And I don't like it's out of left field good. Like if I walk into an Applebee's, and this is 100% a dig at Applebee's, because Applebee's stinks. If I walk into an Applebee's, my skin crawls. You know? If I walk into a TGI Fridays, I might see domestic abuse. These are not establishments that I want to associate with, TGI Fridays and Applebee's. But Chili's embodies all of the wonderful things about fast casual dining and puts them in one thing, in one establishment. It's my neon moon, buddy. That's what I have to say about it.
Your neon moon. What's that mean?
You never heard that song? Neon Moon?
Brooks and Dunn? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the song is about? The neon sign of the bar is his neon moon. Beneath the light of a neon moon. Okay, yeah. So it's like Chili's is my neon moon because of the neon sign on the outside of the building.
Okay. All right. I got you. I'm
glad we could run through that together.
Yeah. My apologies, dude. I'm slower than Brad on a road course.
I love it. Well, Buddy's had the elbows out all night long tonight.
That's right.
I think Happy's wearing off on you.
All right. Yeah. Anything else for the Italian goodbye? What'd you do this week, Sal? You got anything fun or exciting? Drink some beers?
No, I never made it to the indoor dirt nationals in Trenton. Didn't do it. Snowed here again. Got 20 inches of snow last week.
Okay.
So didn't quite make my way out that neck of the woods. Otherwise, Sal lives a very boring life where I am at home all the time. So I didn't really get into too much. I did get an excellent quesadilla this weekend, though, I will say. Last weekend, I had an excellent quesadilla. That was the highlight of my week. So if anybody's out there living their lives and they're thinking, wow, I really want to get into media and follow motorsports and these guys, I could do what these guys do. You probably could. Because Don't let us tell you can't, because you probably could. Yeah, nothing too exciting for me, buddy. I hate to report that I am living a quite the boring life over here. This, at least for the most recent part of it.
All right, cool.
All right.
I got a whole week of racing coming up, so
What do you got coming up?
I got the Speed Week at Southern National, so a continuation of my weekend adventures. So,
Buddy's Weekend Adventures. Make sure everybody, you are tuned in. On Tour is the place. You can find it right on the ATYL media platforms. YouTube mostly, buddy? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You definitely want to see it. It's a visual experience, so make sure you're watching it.
YouTube. It is on Spotify. It is on Spotify, as are we. You can listen to us here on Below the Yellow Line every week. Listen to us talk about racing, but eventually we will get to the food.
I think that's just a precursor to the Italian goodbyes. You have to make at least one food mention in the exit of the program as part of the Italian goodbye.
Yep.
All right. Well, like Buddy said, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on the ATYL media platforms. Buddy at the Buddy Pulley. They can find you. Sal, myself at Sly Job Sal. You can find us throughout the week. Make sure you're calling in to the hotline. It's up on our social media. You can get a hold of us anytime. We'll listen to your calls live on the show, pre-recorded live on the show each and every week. And we will see you post-Phoenix.
Phonix.
That's all we got, guys.
Hooked on phonetics.